We're joined by Khurram Shehzad, who is the advisor to Finance Ministry and has been instrumental in advising the ministry in mobilizing at least various resources of finance, but particularly also on the subject of climate. So Khurram, I think that's the key idea, right? That in the federal government, beyond Ministry of Climate Change, Finance Ministry has a key role when it comes to mobilizing climate finance. So what's the strategy there?
Well, thank you very much for having me. First of all, you see, as Ministry of Finance, our priority job is basically to arrange financing, whether it's for fiscal purposes, whether it's for climate purposes, or whether it's for the running of the affairs and the business of the government. So I think for most part is that we've been able to arrange a number of financing arrangements with multilaterals in the last couple of years. And the priority has been on the climate side, on the impact side, of course. As far as the arrangements are concerned, we have recently signed a country partnership framework with the World Bank, which gives us $20 billion in the next 10 years. It's about $2 billion a year. And then we have signed an additional facility with the IMF as well, which is called Resilience Facility. Basically, it's the RSF, which actually allows us to focus more on the climate side, on handling this environmental pollution issue. So, and we've been hit the most, you see, in the last many years. Pakistan has been the victim of the climate change, with the rest of the world has been producing, through greenhouse gases. So as far as financing is concerned, that's in place. What's the missing part is basically on part of the government, primarily part of the private sector as well, is basically the action on ground. You see, we need bankable, investable projects that should come through, and so we are able to spend this arrangement and the huge funding we've already had. So as far as projects are concerned, you see, we have identified a number of projects across the climate space, and which include, which range between the hydel side to mitigation and everything. So and the latest on the financing side is basically we are going for a Panda inaugural issue, which is a bond which is going to be raised in Chinese market, which is the second largest and the deepest capital market in the world. So I think as far as financing is concerned, we are in good shape. But as far as projects are concerned, we are still looking for bankable, investable, large projects, especially from the private sector.
And do you think that given there's the opportunity to go to China, but also green financing in terms of bonds, sukuks, adaptation bonds, blue bonds, all of that, do you think there's also a sizable appetite or understanding now in institutions that this is the way that private capital has to be brought into the country?
It's a very good question, actually. Yes, there is a lot of interest now from the institutional side. I've given an example that last year we raised green sukuk. There was locally targeted green bond, and it was an inaugural bond once again. And we went for, let's say, 30 billion rupees, and we ended up with 5x, 5 times more than the targeted amount. So that actually showed us that there's institutional capacity, institutional interest is there, and it was basically a Sharia compliant bond as well. You see, and we closed that very successfully. And the next one is Panda bond, which is in the foreign market, especially in Chinese market. So yes, institutional capacity, institutional interest, institutional capability is there, the backing is there. Again, I'd say the missing part, the missing link is basically how we mobilize this funding into large scalable projects which actually have a large impact on our country and on our people.
Thank you for being with us, and stay tuned for more.